it sounds sort of typical, I think most actors will say this, but you never judge the person that you're going to play. And she wasn't conceived in that way, you know, she wasn't written in that way. You know, Kelly, the writer-director, and John Raymond, her co-writer, never suffused the script with any of that sensibility either, that that you should feel sorry for her, or that you should, I mean, people will have their own reactions to it in any case. My associations with her were that she was actually really resilient, you know, and had a kind of sort of pioneering spirit to her. You know, she did have a goal, to get to Alaska, to get to this job that she had been told, you know, that you could make like a decent amount, you know, the kind of money that could really change somebody like her, could change her life. You know, I think that there's a kind of sentiment, I was definitely brought up with a kind of sentiment that everybody is born on an equal playing field, and that every American has the opportunity to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And I was brought up to believe that, but I've found in my own life and my own experiences that it's just not true. And so I thought about that in terms of her, you know, that she's, for whatever reason, she's sort of been set adrift, and she doesn't have the kind of net that a lot of people are afforded with family or with friends, and that she doesn't have anything to fall back on. Everything that I've experienced myself or through my friends or something, it all kind of like gets stored in this sort of bank in a way, like internally, and that really, like, the work is to just is to stay open and to keep taking the experiences and making meaning out of them, and and then you're allowed to sort of you draw from that at every opportunity or at whatever character that you play. So, you know, whatever in my life or my experiences that I found related to Wendy, I could use. For me, anyway, the decisions that I really labor over, and I'm like, should I not, should I take this part? It's usually the wrong decision, and that when it's just an instinctive, natural, easy response, that's the one that I should sort of listen to. So it's hard to sort of break it down and say why you choose one thing over another. It's just what your heart desires, you know, it's just where you want to see. It's almost like a nonverbal kind of relationship between you and the work that you want to make. You know, I don't really think about it that much, honestly. I don't sort of analyze it until I'm in this kind of situation and you're asked, you know, how you make the choices, and so you try and explain it, but it's really kind of mysterious to me. It's just what I want to do. When it's at its best, when my decision-making process is at its best, it's very pure, and it's just me in the form of work. Something that really gave me a lot in this particular film was that it was based on a short story, and so the script was very bare, but I had read the short story, which was so, you know, it was full of symbolism and description, stuff that's really unfilmable, but that for an actor is really nice to kind of hang on to and kind of keep inside of you while you're in the middle of these big spaces on screen. So I had this novel running in my head based on the short story that John had written. And I'm a reader, I like to read books, so I think that really appealed to my sensibility, that I felt like I was making a novel and a movie at the same time. I suppose the thing that I'm just starting to learn now, because I've had to have it checked. You know, I have made mistakes in the way that I work and stuff. But I suppose that the best, like, the advice that I'm trying to take for myself right now is to follow my own counsel. Is that the only thing that really separates one actor from another is their instinct, you know, and to really kind of to protect it, and to not follow a traditional path, to follow your own sounds so cheesy, but it's really the advice that I'm taking is, you know, you can admire people and you can look up to people, but I think that the reason that you admire them is because they've blazed their own way, and that that's what I'm trying to do in the midst of something that wants to make you the same as everyone. You know, to keep to the thing that makes you unique.